Camera turn off. Okay, so it's very similar to things for sale. So a marketplace, but instead of people selling products and services, what they're doing is hiring workers, trying to get work done. So it's a similar concept. It's a marketplace just for work, filled with employers, filled with job opportunities, filled with full-time job opportunities, part-time job opportunities, contractual job opportunities. And the little contracts and projects could be as simple as, I need this thing, I need you to fill this out, I need you to fill this out and complete this thing within an hour, 2 hours, however the time frame is. That's how it works. So someone posts a job, just like you see someone post something on things for sale, someone posts a job and other people in that market will see the job, okay? And you guys who are signing up, you will start to see the jobs that are posted. When you see something posted, that doesn't necessarily mean that every single employer is the best employer to, you know, work with. You have to go through, just as if when you're purchasing something on things for sale, you don't send your money, you know, like how that we know what not to do on things for sale. When you're on things for sale, you don't be sending money for something you don't get in person. You don't send a deposit for the rent before you see the apartment. So the thing that you look out for and you do on Upwork, on this marketplace, is when you see an employer, you need to check that. You need to look for the stars. Okay, does this employer have 5 stars, 4 stars? What kind of comments are people saying about them? Are they saying that this person doesn't pay? Are they having, you know, like you're gonna see everything. You're gonna see employers who are verified. Verified employers would have a check mark or something on the side of their name, and you can see if they're a verified employer, and you can see a lot. You can see if it's a brand new employer. So just like when, let me just plug in my laptop a second. It looks like it's dying. Okay, yeah, so with the employer, you can see if it's a brand new employer, an employer who's new to the marketplace, or you can see if that employer has been in the marketplace for many years. They have already hired so many hundreds of thousands of employees. You can see how much they have been paying their employees. So if that employer is someone who pays their employee little to nothing, peanuts, we call it peanuts. If they paying peanuts, you can see if that's what they pay. You're going to be able to see that before you even apply for their job. And I'm telling you all of this because this world is new to you. I want you to see it from my lens. Yes, I can go through how to set up and how to make the account and everything, but I think my job is to show you guys from my perspective, someone who's already been there, done that, worked through the system, learned the ins and outs, learn how to get the job and how to do everything. I feel like that's the best thing for me to share with you. Everything else you can get assistance with on Upwork. Upwork is very responsive. You send them a message, oh, I'm having an issue setting up. They would help you with every single part of your journey. But they won't tell you about the experience of you being a worker on the platform, which is what I'm sharing with you guys tonight. Okay? So, like I was saying, you can see if that employer, like, let's say I see a job post. I don't know if you guys want me to share, because I could actually share. Let me pull up Upwork, because I have my computer right here. I can share an example, and I will move on at some point. But you can see, and it's your job as someone that's looking for work. Do your due diligence, do your checks. You know, just as if I said the things for sale thing earlier. When you want things for sale, your guard is up. You thinking, okay, I ain't letting nobody swing me. I ain't letting, you thinking about, taking care of yourself, protecting yourself, and making sure that you have a smooth transaction. So the same thing applies, and that's not to say that Upwork is the issue, but you have scammers, you have people that are trying to take advantage of people anywhere in the world, in any situation. So I just want you guys to be safe. I want you guys to know what's out there. I don't want y'all to go on there and be surprised. Like, there are a lot of really good employers on there, and like I said, a lot of them have the verified it would say that they're verified. And I just got the screen up. Okay, so let me see if I could show y'all. I'm gonna take this off the stand for a second. I'm gonna show y'all, wait. Okay, so this job here, this employer, see where it says payment verified? You know that when you get a job with this person, they have money on their account, or they you know, they're active, they could actually pay you. And you could also see how much money they spent. If you go closer, the job, this is the job posts. It's a lot of these, guys, so many jobs. But when you look at the client, see it has the reviews, how many stars, it has payment verified, it has how many jobs they had, it has you know, how much they spent on average, how many hires, how much they pay people per hour, how many hours they have people working for. It tells you everything. Okay, and then let's see here, what they're looking for the position: more than 30 hours a week, more than 6 hours, more than 6 months. They're willing to pay $8 to $12 an hour, and the level of the skill for the person for this particular role. They don't necessarily want someone who's an expert, but they don't want a beginner either, so they selected intermediate. So this particular job is an influencer email coordinator. And you know, you see a lot of these, but I'm showing you guys this to show you what looks like a good person to apply for. Payment verified means that they actually trying to hire you. They ain't trying to get no work done for free. Okay, so that's really how I look at it. This other person paid over 100K. That's how many different employees that they hired. They paid over 100K for people to work for them. Okay, so this is a client success manager. I think it's similar to a customer service thing, and I mean, if I've seen that a lot of times before. They have a high rating, 5 stars, located in LA, 100% higher rate, 104K spent. They hired 35 different people. They pay an average of $10.22 an hour, and they have had 9,000 plus hours paid for. Okay, so yeah, so I'm showing you guys what it should look like, and I guess while I'm at it, I'll just show you which one I would be a little bit skeptical about. Well, let me don't say skeptical. So this one, I guess this person is probably new. This is probably a new person. Payment verified, so it's a new person, but the payment is verified. Okay. I'm just turning my next camera. Just realized the next camera doesn't have the screen. All right, wait. Okay, now I can continue. All right, yeah, so this is Upwork.com, guys, who are just joining. Thank you for joining. Welcome, good night. We're talking about how to work online, and as you know, I am Letitia. Okay, so yeah, it's a lot of these. It's a lot. They used to show you how many jobs were actually on the site, and now it's just like pages and pages and pages. But I won't bore you guys with all of this. Just, I mean, once you sign up, you can see all of these jobs. You can see everything. But what I can tell you is, you see this Upwork 101 guide you to the basic of the platform. Everyone who is starting out, I would strongly advise that you start here. You start by exploring the Upwork 101. Also, I got a question about connects, if there's a way to work for connects. So when I just clicked on my connect. So where is connect? I just click on that, And underneath that, it has free connects, and then obviously buy connects and details. If you hit on free connects, because this is another question I had earlier, is there any way to work for connects? There are ways to work for connects. So it says you can get free connects by completing tasks and learning. Check here regularly for new ways to earn. Okay, so I don't think they have all of the links and stuff. I guess as you go through the learning, they're probably gonna show all of those different ways that you can do it, but it's a lot. So let's go back, and then I'll continue with my, whoops, I gone too far back. Hold on, wait. All right. Okay, so yeah. So I know I kind of jumped around so you guys can take a look at the site, because that's one of the biggest questions. You know, I want everyone to know what it is that we're working with. I want everyone to be mentally prepared. I want everyone to have an idea. I want everyone to have an idea of what it is that is available to you guys. When I started to share about this particular platform, what I can tell you guys from experience is I have seen some of the largest companies hiring people on this same platform. And when I say large companies, I mean places like, don't quote me, as big as Google, as big as Microsoft, as big as a lot of major companies, like all of those major companies in the world. For them to hire people locally, especially in New York, in the San Francisco Bay Area, those areas where they have all of the Silicon Valleys and whatever, for them to hire people locally in those areas, it is extremely expensive. It's extremely expensive. The cost of living is astronomical. So what a lot of them do is they hire when they're starting out, but as a startup, they have so much capital to start out. And instead of getting a bunch of people to work with them locally initially, what they do is they get people to work with them online in places like this. So a lot of startup companies are on there, a lot of other companies, and like I said, you can get jobs just about anywhere in the world. There are companies that are not just in the United States. I've worked with companies that are, well, clients, people that are in Germany, that are in Australia. I've worked with people from all around the world, right? And you have the same opportunity to do just that. So I see we have about 30 minutes before the Q&A. So as I said earlier, we have a Q&A section at 7 p.m. I will try to answer your questions. So I covered a lot, and let's just see. Understanding freelancing, I covered that. I talked a little bit about the client and what you're looking for when you're looking for a client, when you're looking for a job, what's a good thing to look out for. I talked about just kind of being safe and just checking to see, okay, is the client verified? Do they have a payment? Are they going to be able to pay me? I covered that. The next thing I would say is the budget. So I keep getting this question: how much is this company? How much is this website going to pay me to work online? What am I gonna make? How much money? Show me the money. That was probably the biggest question that I got. Okay, how much we gonna make? So it depends. You're in a marketplace. That's like asking, okay, well, how many Honda Civic, how many whatever inside of the island? No, you don't know. Every range is different. So when you look at the payment, it depends on what you do. If you're doing a simple job, let's say they ask you to do something related to email, they ask you to do something really simple, something that doesn't even take you an hour, something that doesn't require any special skill, then they might pay you $3 an hour, $4, $5, depending on where they're from. That might be what you're looking at, and that's US dollars. But if it's something that's more complicated, like the intermediate job that we were looking at, that person was willing to pay about $10 to about $12 an hour. And then when you get up even higher to the more expert level, someone that's really good in their field, then you get paid a lot more. So I think one of my better jobs that I had, because I had so many different jobs on the platform, I was able to get paid as a graphic designer, standard graphic design rate. I think graphic design is a little bit more specialized than a lot of the other stuff. And I think they paid me like $50 an hour or something like that for graphic design. It's not something that, I guess it depends on the company. Some companies, they have a lot of hours of work. That particular company, I think they have multiple designers, so they would just give me a couple stuff here and a couple stuff there. So that's a big range from $3 or $4 an hour to like 50 something dollars an hour. And I've seen jobs that are paying even more than that per hour. When you get into the more technical skills like programming, web programming, I mean, I don't know, I guess AI prompt engineering is probably going to become quite popular because a lot of people are familiar with artificial intelligence, AI, but they aren't necessarily skilled at creating a prompt, and a prompt that is a great prompt. So, I mean, I don't know. I haven't scrolled through to see what the latest things are that people are looking for, but I noticed that the jobs and the things that the marketplace requires, it depends on what is trending in the world. So right now, TikTok is trending. You know, a lot of things are trending. Crypto is trending. I think there are a lot of crypto groups that are paid moderators. So if there's a Discord, a Telegram, a Facebook group, whatever group, someone would pay you money. They would pay you money to moderate. And I said this earlier. They would pay you money to moderate the group, to make sure that everybody is following the rules, to make sure whatever. That's not a special skill. That's just you knowing what the rules are and looking at the group and typing. And you can do that on your phone. Okay? What I would say, so that was talking about beginner-friendly jobs. That was talking about the kind of budget, how much money you can get paid. So the budget depends on the client. The client knows what they want to pay. And it's up to you to pick, choose, and refuse what job you want. You can pick something that doesn't pay that much. If you can pick something that pays way more. But yeah, you pick what you want. Obviously, you have to qualify for the position. You have to have some kind of experience. And a lot of times, our skills that we have, even though you're not someone that would have worked online before, you are still someone that has worked a job. You're still someone that, I saw some teachers reach out to me at some point, and they said, you know, I've been a teacher. I don't really know if my teaching is going to allow me to get a job on the platform. Is there going to be work available for me as a teacher? Honestly, I've seen people hiring teachers on the platform. I've seen people hiring English-speaking teachers to teach English. I've seen people hiring teachers to help compile certain things for, I guess, lesson plans and stuff, like compile stuff. So there are a lot of different things that can be done on the platform, and it's not all technical. Some things are just, I've seen people ask for sketches. You can literally take a pen and sketch something out and get paid for that. If you're really good at drawing, and you have a camera, you can get paid to draw. Okay? There's nothing technical about drawing. There's nothing technical about putting a lesson plan together. I mean, obviously, if you're a teacher and you have that experience in putting things together, then you can do that. Okay? Yeah, so I covered a lot. I think I have about 20 something minutes left. Let me just see what else I haven't covered, and then we can continue. Good night, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Okay. Yeah, so let's talk about getting your first job, because that is the next step for you. Once you signed up, once you have an account, the next thing is to get your first job. Okay? So how does getting your first job work? Ideally, you would have your profile already set up, you have your name, you have a photo, and let's talk about the photo. I've gotten questions, okay, do I put a real photo of me? What do I do? So think about it like LinkedIn. Okay, so somewhere in between LinkedIn and a things for sale marketplace. Yeah, but you actually need a photo of you, and try to make it look not like a passport photo. Those passport photos, they don't have any personality to them. They don't have a warmness to them, and it doesn't come across as approachable and friendly and someone that someone would want to work with. So try to get a nice photo of you, ideally smiling, ideally, you know, whatever your area is. Try to look the part the same way as if you're going to a physical interview, maybe dress the part and all. If it's a, depending the kind of work you plan to do on the platform, if it's a casual type work, then just put on something casual, a nice face, nice lighting, get someone to take the photo, do it like that. Obviously you want to be appropriate, so something like what I have on, a regular shirt is probably fine. And then we said complete your profile. Once you complete the profile, you have a photo, you have your name, you have your area that you specialize in or you want to start working in. So for me personally, I have been listed for customer service, and I think also for marketing and also for graphic design, because I have graphic design background, marketing, and customer service. So I just kind of flex between them depending on who's paying, and that's how I pick it. But you can do one. You don't have to have 3 different profiles. I have 3, don't ask me why, but you can have one profile. And let's say you're a teacher. Okay, you can put teacher something, I don't know. Maybe look at some of the jobs that are posted in the platform already. And well, I'm gonna pause. Welcome guys, good night. I don't see much sharing on the video. Can you guys please share so that other people can benefit from this information? Just really happy to share this with you guys, and I'm happy that you guys are benefiting from it. Share the information, share the live. I don't know, you know, put some hearts and stuff. TikTok doesn't give me much, but you know, that's your way to support me back. Just tap the screen. Tapping is free. I'm not charging anything for this information. I'm not gonna send you a link. I'm not gonna tell you, okay, you know, okay, so I'm done. So now let me continue back. It was really quiet in the chat. I just had to pause and make sure that you guys remember that this is an interaction. Like, I would love support back. I would have asked you guys some more questions earlier, but I'm trying to give you as much information as I can before we end this session and before we get into the Q&A. Okay, so in 20 minutes, we'll be starting the Q&A section. Thank you so much for supporting my live. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for commenting and interacting. I am relatively new to TikTok. I've only been posting on TikTok since about, I guess, November or so of 2024. And I am happy to start to share this particular information. So let's continue. Commercial break over. Yeah, so tapping the screen, that would help me so much, guys. Tapping, sharing, liking. Okay. And I think also the heart me is somewhere in there, and it might be free. And I think you get gifts when you give gifts. So I think they replenish it or something. I don't really know. Okay, so let's go to the end. We're wrapping up. So getting your first job, you complete your profile, you have a up-to-date photo, you have a photo that doesn't look like, I mean, you know how horrible passport photos look. They look like you could be a serial killer. Nobody wants to work with you. It doesn't look good. Don't do it. Please don't do it. I see a lot of people do it. Don't do it. Okay, that's not gonna help you to get a job. Get a nice photo with some nice lighting. Probably smile if it's a customer service related job, or if it's something warm, smile, look appropriate. If it's something more serious, maybe don't smile, maybe just, you know, look serious and confident, but don't look like a serial killer. Okay, that's my advice on that. So you have all of that in place. You have a section on your profile to complete all of the skills, all of the education, everything that you have. Ideally, your profile is just about completed, all of your certifications. You can even do some courses on Upwork, I think they have some courses. So when you go through the skills, they're going to ask you to take a test to see, okay, Microsoft Excel or Microsoft Word. They would ask you, okay, Letitia, you're proficient in Microsoft Word. So you say, we don't believe you. You got to prove this. Take this test, sit down. This test is going to be about 20 minutes, 15 minutes. Take the test. And once you pass the test, they give you a score. And that score and that certificate goes into your profile. And when employers are hiring you, let's say the job is related to that particular skill, they can see that you have a certification verified on the platform. And this is separate from everything else that you may have. You might have other certifications, but this is just to help a lot of people, because I kept getting a lot of questions about how do I get jobs without a degree? How do I get certifications? You can do it on the platform. That's the answer for that. And that helps you to get your first job. So if you are applying for jobs that are customer service related, I think they have customer service related skills and tests. So when you add those into your profile, you can pass the test and you will be able to get paid a reasonable amount of money once you complete everything properly. So getting the first job. So when you click on the job, so we looked at the job earlier. I can actually pull it back on my screen, but we looked at the jobs earlier. And when you apply for the job, like the guy who had I think it was a customer service or experience manager or something. So that particular job, if you had clicked on that, and let me see, I'm going to share my screen because it'll be easier for a lot of you to see it. So I'll share my screen so you can see. All right. I'll share my screen so you can see exactly how to get your first job. Okay. So if I wanted to do a customer service job, because I had earlier a customer service video. If I wanted to do one, so this particular client spent over $1 million. $1 million. How many of our employers have spent $1 million on salaries? How many? I would love to know that. So this one customer. Hi guys, welcome. Thank you so much for the heart me, Melanie. Hi, good night. All right, so this customer, this employer, they spent $1 million on jobs, like just hiring employees. So this particular job, we're trying to get you your first job. If this person, if I was to say, okay, I wanna apply for this customer service agent job, I would click on it, and this is under find work, so Upwork.com. Then at the top, find work, and then that brought me here. Okay, so this person happened to be in the top, and if you want to go back to it, let's say you don't have time to complete your application, you can hit the little heart to save it. That just saves it for you for later. If you're not interested, I guess you can hit the other thing. But let's say I wanted to apply for this job, and remember what I said, when you're looking at employers, you would look at different things like payment verified. You would look at different things like how many stars they have. So this person has 5 stars. You would look at how much money they spent hiring other employees like you, over $1 million. And if you're interested in where they're located, you can see that as well. So I'm going to click on this because I'm super interested in this job. They sound like an amazing employer, and maybe this would be my next job. All right, so customer support agent, ready to Google Play reviews on Zendesk. All right, so they want someone to, I guess, deal with their reviews, something like that. And then you could always read that and see exactly what they want, right? You read the information, and like I said to a few people earlier, because a lot of people don't typically read the job posts, a lot of employers would hide different words inside of their posts and say things like, if you have read my post to the end, please start your proposal or your application with the word banana or some random word so that we can verify that you actually read my post. And if you don't do that, if you don't follow their instruction, they would not even consider your application, no matter how good it is. Okay, so there's a lot, and I would highly recommend that you read the entire post Don't skip any part of it. Okay, so this job, more than 30 hours a week is required, 3 to 6 months. The skill level they're looking for is intermediate, and they're willing to pay $5